The Overtime Hockey Podcast Network right here at the MNHockey.tv. I mean, we are podcasting legends with the quality content we have out. And I got a book here. You probably can't see it on the podcast, but we're doing a Genos and Apples episode. This will be episode number 5, and I'm looking very forward to it. And I am looking at a book called There's Nothing We Can't Do from Dana Anderson-Helstrom, who is the mother of Tucker. And you have quite the story about your young, amazing son who grew up in the Hopkins School District, played some hockey and baseball, had an incredible heart for life, for those around him. Sadly, came up with, was it a rare form of cancer?
Very rare. Osteosarcoma. It's a bone cancer.
And 8.5 months later.
Not even full 8 months, 2 days, and about 36 hours.
Incredible. And so he has a journey, and then we have some teammates of his when he was little that are here. They're not so little anymore, as they're now high schoolers and play for Coach Vetchy at Hopkins High School that have been part of an initiative for you. So we've got a number of things and topics to discuss before we get to the young men, but you've created something called Team Tucker.
Yes.
Let's start backwards a little bit. Let's go to that first, and then we'll talk about how we got there. So what is Team Tucker?
Team Tucker Play, Laugh, Love is a nonprofit that its commitment is to extend the legacy. I did not create Tucker's legacy. He did. He only was with us 9.5 short years, but he created a legacy where, and the boys will attest to it, that every day he played. He didn't like video games. He wanted to just play with friends anywhere. He laughed. He was one of the funniest kids, and a lot of the boys say, and girls. In fact, one of his classmates said her favorite memory is when he made her laugh so hard that her milk came out of her nose.
Wow.
Yes. That's one of her favorite life memories.
That's a good effort. Was that at the lunch?
Yes,
at school?
It was.
Okay.
Yes. And then he loved others. So he just cared about those less fortunate. He cared about homeless. He cared about children. He cared about everyone, and he wanted, if somebody wasn't playing or laughing, he wanted to help them.
Mm-hmm.
Adults have a chance to see their children be the best they can be, and they're reminded, my goal is to remind them that when kids, I think you even said it to me, I can't imagine losing a kid. I don't want parents to imagine that because it's impossible. I just want them to be, give their kids one extra hug that night and be extra grateful and just be thrilled that they're here and what can they do for others.
That's, as a parent that's going through it, that's a lot about what your book is. One of the key parts of the title says, Parenting Through Childhood Cancer from a Special Educator, which is what you are. Yep.
I was a special educator, and luckily, so it was weird. I spent 20 years helping families through a learning disability or autistic diagnosis, and I kept saying, you can still get there, you just have to make modifications. Your kid will still be happy. Your kid will still be successful. We got to make modifications. So when Tucker got diagnosed with cancer, it was right during his Mite 4 season that he was so excited to start. And he's like, what if I can't play hockey this year? I'm like, nope, we can't play hockey, but we can still do hockey. There's nothing we can't do. And I kept telling him, we just got to make modifications. And he went to every practice and game, and he was the first base coach. He warmed up the team, and then he was the batting coach. And if you have a quick second to show the element of my son, how he plays and laughs and cares about others, I found out towards the end of the season he had a rule as batting coach, so he put his wheelchair right at the end of the bench, right at the opening for the home plate. And he goes, well, Mom, you know my rule, right? I'm like, no, what rule? And he's like, well, if a kid plays, and he's 9. If one of the players strikes out before his next at-bat, he has to rub my bald head. And I chuckled, and I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, well, Mom, it always makes him laugh. And to have a good at-bat, you have to be relaxed. Everything with Tucker is sports. Everything is team. Friends, team. Even if you didn't play on a team with him, he called you his teammate. And so I wanted to, kids stuck in the hospital, transplants, you're there 100 days, And so we address anything, not just cancer, life-threatening disease. And we have flown kids up just to give them a break because they're stuck there without friends. And then COVID hits. So now I've been tweaking the program. Now these families can't even leave because their kids are so immunocompromised. So maybe I'll get, the family,
Brutal.
they can't even see their siblings.
Yeah.
And I had sleepovers every Friday night. Tucker's younger sisters, Casey and Sierra, troopers. Also, I call Tucker my, hero, my angel hero. My girls are my living heroes because what they went through. But we had sleepovers every night. We had visitors all the time. So I will do, find a VRBO for these families to at least give them, time in a safe place. Or once the kid gets through the 100 days, I have flown in aunts and they do the protocols of waiting a month or waiting a week.
So you're paying for this.
Yeah, so that's what the VIPs do is we will get your team by your side. It started with a couple of cars. We rented some cars. We paid for gas. We paid for the hotel and the lodging. But no matter where they come from, and then I love that we don't have the parameters. People just, so any VIPs out there listening, any parents with sick kids, please contact us with the fundraising that's going on.
What's the best way, through the website?
Yep, through the website, or just dana@playlaughLove.org, and I will text you. In fact, as I was waiting for my turn, got another text from a VIP.
Yeah,
I'm going to help parents.
It's been
Tucker's
defined.
going to help kids, and what I love the most is that Tucker and I are still a team.
What's really important about this, from my perspective, is this is not a therapeutic job for you. You know how some people kind of, that helps them get through things? This is not what this is about at all.
I think this is...
This is about you taking a legacy and extending it.
He looked very brave to the boys. He showed up to every game. Behind the scenes, he was terrified. He hated the needles. He hated the hospital. And Monday mornings were a horrible scene. I would carry drag a crying boy with one leg out the door. He would wrap his fingers around the door frame. I had to peel one finger off at a time and hold him in the back of the car to get him to go. And he cried the whole time, and it was heartbreaking. But as a mom, you need to do what's best for your kid. And all of a sudden, we'd get to the top of the ramp 18 minutes into the trip, and that would be my only reprieve. He stopped crying instantly, and he would look, and he would see a homeless person with a little cardboard sign, and he would sit up. Mom, where's your money? Mom, where's your wallet? Where's your wallet? I'm like, the first time this happened, I'm like, what? Are we hungry? What are we doing? He's like, this man needs help. And I would hand him money, and he would just smile and hand it and tell the man to have a good day. And it got to the point where the one time I disappointed Tucker was I didn't have cash. And chemo was only every other week or every third. And it was 2-3 weeks later on a Sunday night, as he's in his depression, sad about it. The girls are sad. He goes, Mom, just make sure, I know you're packing all my stuff. Make sure you pack $5. He goes, there'll be another homeless person. Make sure you have your $5. And that was part of our trip to the hospital.
It's compassion like no other.
Yep.
Really.
It is.
Sorry.
He's
an amazing.
So how as a mother do I not continue this?
Final question.
Yes.
Jason Zucker, how did he get involved with this?
Fate.
Go
I will
ahead.
say fate. When he got amputated, a friend's like, you know what? I think I work with somebody who knows Carly, Jason's fiance. And I said, oh my God, if you could let him know what's going on, maybe he could give us a stick. So she got me Carly's number, and I said, do you think Jason would mind giving Tucker a stick? He's got his leg amputated. He won't play stand-up hockey again. And Carly's first word was no. And I was like, okay, that struck me as weird. But it was a comma. Jason insists on seeing him. Jason was the first non-family member visitor 3 days after amputation. And I treated him like a celebrity. I wanted him to, quickly leave. And he's like, anything else? And I was like, no, you can go. And Tucker goes, what? Don't you want to play Xbox with me? Jason sat there for 2 hours playing Xbox with my son.
Smokes.
And I kept apologizing to Carly, I'm so sorry. She goes, really? You don't think he's loving this? And Jason came back every chemo treatment that he could. And the two of them played Xbox. They went out to lunch. And Jason made Tucker a priority from that moment on.
So these things are happening, but the money doesn't grow on trees.
Nope.
And you need to have ways to get it. We're going to challenge our viewers.
Great.
They complain about having to drop, $3 a game if they buy an $89.95 package because we've got to sustain this business.
Yes.
Okay, now you can drop $1.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, another one. So just shut up. That's what I was. Okay,
right.
So we're good. So we're gonna
sounds great.
We'll take a quick time
Yes.
out. Dana, you've been absolutely a pleasure, and thanks for sharing the story.
Thank you for asking.
And is this my book to keep?
Yes, it is.
Good.
And I got some Team Tucker gear for you.
I love it. Thank you.
All right.
Dana, thanks for sharing the story, and we've got some good things. I think we're going to make a difference this year. And
We
if
are.
we don't do it completely this year,
Oh.
we're laying the groundwork and the foundation
It's gonna be
for what we're
amazing.
going to do with MN Hockey TV. And I'm hoping we can really make a difference in what you're doing and impacting so many people.